What's going on, everybody? It's the Bull Show, aka Aidan, and welcome back to another video. Ladies and gentlemen, with a potential return of Alex Caruso coming very shortly, potentially against Cleveland, but my guess is probably going to be after that Cleveland Cavaliers game. Today, we're going to be talking about what he brings to the table for the Chicago Bulls. I know many of you guys know the answer to this question already, but since it's been such a long time since the Chicago Bulls have seen Alex Caruso on the court, I want to talk about the positives that he'll bring towards the Chicago Bulls and how massively important he will be to this team going forward. But before we get started, please like and subscribe to the Bull Show, turn notifications on, and let me know in the comments below your thoughts about Alex Caruso, what he brings to the table offensively and defensively, and your overall thoughts and opinions on how well he will do coming back for the Chicago Bulls. So, Alex Caruso, ladies and gentlemen, one of the best, in my opinion, defensive players in the NBA, and there was a point in time when he was leading the league in steals, and he was one of the all-NBA defenders. It was at least in that conversation. Now, obviously, at this point, it's probably not going to happen because of all the injuries that he suffered. He just simply hasn't played enough games to really get that recognition as an all-NBA defender, but we know that defensive leadership that he brings on a nightly basis is going to be crucial for the Chicago Bulls. Our biggest weakness, in many guys' opinion, is the defense, and mainly the defense of our guards. I know Vucevic and Tristan Thompson and a lot of our centers will get a lot of stick for drop coverage, but that's more of a coaching issue compared to, I guess, an issue on the court per se, with the, I guess, the lack of defense of those guys. Yes, Vucevic has struggles in the pick and roll. I think Tristan Thompson has not really had a much improvement in that pick and roll defense at this point in time. I'm hoping things will get better in that category. But Alex Caruso and just guards in general that are willing to fight over screens a little bit more and just know how to stand in front of their man will be a much better hub for that pick and roll defense, and obviously the defense overall, with of course him getting a lot of steals and stuff of that nature. That's a given, ladies and gentlemen. Obviously, defense is the first thing you're going to think of when you think of Alex Caruso, and he's earned that reputation around the league where he is a defensive stopper. He's one of the best defenders in the NBA, and that's going to show when he returns for the Chicago Bulls. Something else that I think is very important is the ability to play as an on-ball and off-ball guard on the offensive end. For an example, we've seen a massive development in Ayo Dosunmu as a point guard for the Chicago Bulls. So, until Lonzo Ball returns, I still personally see Ayo starting at the point guard position while seeing Alex Caruso coming off of the bench. Now, many people might think this is a bad thing, but all in all, I don't think it makes too much of a difference in terms of, I guess, how we play, because they're both going to be playing point guards for the foreseeable future until Lonzo Ball returns. So we've seen Alex Caruso, how crucial he can be as a point guard. He makes a lot of good, I guess, decisions in the pick and roll. He's a decent playmaker as well. One of the most surprising traits of his season, in my opinion, was his ability to playmake. He's a very good knockdown shooter from the three-point line. He's had some games where he struggled, but most games he's been very good from the three-point line. And the best thing about this is that when Lonzo Ball does return, there's a good chance we can see Alex Caruso as an off-ball guard. Because again, we've seen a true development in Ayo Dosunmu. Do you really want to see that wasted by putting him in the corner and not being able to have him create plays here and there? The best thing about the Chicago Bulls with Alex Caruso coming back is that now we have guards that can actually play off ball, can actually move without the ball, can cut without the ball. That's something we've been sorely lacking for the Chicago Bulls. And the only person that I see really do this on a constant basis is Alex Caruso. Obviously, he's going to be coming back, but Javonte Green. Those are the only two guys that I see move without the basketball on a constant, regular basis. And they're probably the two best at it on this team. I think he's going to help Vucevic get a lot of assists. I think he's going to help Ayo get a lot of assists. I think he's going to help Levine and DeRozan get a lot of assists as well, just by his movement and being able to catch defenses unaware. That's something we've been lacking for a long time. Again, outside of Javonte Green, our offense is very stagnant. It doesn't have much of movement whatsoever, and the assist numbers are relatively low when we verse the better teams in the NBA. I expect all of those things to change because obviously Caruso brings his playmaking, but when, let's say, we want to put Ayo as a point guard because he's improved so much in that area, you got Lonzo Ball starting at point guard, you got Ayo as the backup point guard. If you want to put Caruso as an off-ball guard, then that's what he'll be doing. He'll be running around around the court, looking for those gaps in the defense and trying to exploit that, whether it's a mid-range, a three-point shot, or an easy opportunity at a layup or a dunk. That's what Alex Caruso, in my opinion, is very good at offensively, and that's what he's going to bring to the table. Do I expect him to score 20, 25 points per game? Again, it's very similar to Patrick Williams and Lonzo Ball. I don't expect them to score 30 points per game. They're not that type of guys. They're guys that put themselves on the line defensively. They're guys that will try to get the most easiest opportunities available. But the most important thing is that they're willing and they are massive competitors. They will fight for the Chicago Bulls team. When things don't go our way, they're going to be the ones that are standing up to the task, standing up to the plate, and just trying to put the absolute pressure on the other team to try and either get us back in the game or make sure we're not losing games anymore. That's very important with Alex Caruso as well. And there's just a number of things. I could go on and on about Alex Caruso. I guess the most important thing is that we're going to see multiple things. It's not just one thing that we miss with Alex Caruso. It's not just one thing that we miss with Lonzo Ball. Even Patrick Williams, it's not one thing that you miss with these guys. You miss a bunch of things because it feels like with this team to be successful, everybody needs to be healthy because we all complement each other very well. I feel like Alex Caruso complements guys like Nikola Vucevic, complements guys like DeMar DeRozan and Zach Levine very well, and he rightfully deserves to be in the conversation as one of the best six-man players in the NBA. He was at one point. Of course, I don't think he's going to win Sixth Man of the Year or anything like that. Don't take things out of context when I say that. But when he's healthy, he's one of the best bench players, in my opinion, in the NBA. And many people would have that conversation of starting him as the starting point guard over a guy like Ayo Dosunmu. At the end of the day, only time's going to tell. I personally think Alex Caruso will be that bench player, will be that sixth man that we really need. I think he's also going to boost players like Kobe White as well. I feel like we definitely need more off-ball guards. I feel like we need guards that will be able to move without the basketball, because if you think about it, almost all of our guards at the moment are on-ball guards. I think Ayo can obviously play off-ball, but at the end of the day, he's a point guard and he's done very well in that category, so you probably don't want to see him play off-ball. Zach Levine loves to have the ball in his hands. He loves to be an on-ball guard, even if it does hinder us at times. Zach Levine likes to bring the ball up. He likes to take control of the game. Same with DeMar DeRozan, if you consider him a guard. Probably the most times the ball is in his hands, the most times he's dribbling up the court with the ball, trying to create something. That's what DeMar does. You go to the bench, I don't think we use Kobe White anywhere near enough as an off-ball guard. I think that's where his bread and butter is for the most part. A lot of the threes that he makes are catch-and-shoot threes. A lot of the times he gets opponents in trouble. It's when he's cutting to the basket. Things like that as an off-ball guard will work very well for Kobe White, but I don't think we do it enough. And at the end of the day, we don't have much to do enough because we don't have enough guards on this team. So Alex Caruso can bring that back to the table as well. He can be the main on-ball guard for now. And obviously when Lonzo Ball comes back, you have multiple off-ball guards that can just be successful at what their job and their role is for the Chicago Bulls. And even guys like Matt Thomas that doesn't get game time anymore, he's a decent off-ball guard, but he's not really the quality of player that can really help the Chicago Bulls every single night. So, yeah, we really do lack off-ball guards, in my opinion. We lack off-ball movement. We don't move enough as a team. So that's where I give a lot of credit to Alex Caruso and Javonte Green. But mainly, it's the diversity in the way that they play and how they can suit this team that really makes them valuable. And that's what I really can't wait to see with Alex Caruso's return. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're new. He's a huge asset to the Chicago Bulls. I think he'll show it as well. He's not the type of guy, in my opinion, to have a slow start towards his return. Because again, even if he's not scoring well per se, he does so many other things on the court that makes you notice him straight away. He's not going to have a slow start on his return. But let me know in the comments below, when do you think he will return? Do you think there's an open shout for him to return against Cleveland? Do you think he's going to be traveling with Sacramento and playing against the Kings? Do you think it's going to be against the Jazz and the Suns? Whoever it is, let me know in the comments below. We're going to be making a video about Patrick Williams not too long after this one, because he's the next man up to potentially return for the Chicago Bulls. And we're just going to have to wait and see what his ceiling is for the Chicago Bulls team at the moment and what he could truly be and where his assets are going to lie for the Chicago Bulls. It's a bit of an interesting one with Patrick Williams, but Alex Caruso, there's no real interesting thing about it. We all know what he brings, and it's just a matter of time until we get to see it again. And that's the most exciting part. Take care and peace.